So the second one, obviously, we just spent about 15 minutes talking about Jett waving you by, and then the baby gift and the math and all of that. You put out a social post. It didn't seem like you were, that stoked on it, on the things that he said. What's your take on that, though? Yeah, where are you at with that? Maybe 24 hours later, 48 hours later, on that? Because I mean, again, you were catching them, but what's your take on all that?
So. Obviously, I haven't won much lately, right? So for me since it was also a motocross style track, I haven't raced besides Charlotte. I haven't raced in quite some time either, never went motocross, right? So my goal was, since I've been working really tightly with the team and I've been super engaged and motivated and all that stuff, my goal was just from wherever I'm at after the start, I'm going to try to hammer down all the way to the checker. And that's what I was first off stoked that I did, right? Nobody has really been able to really, really put up a fight with Jett, right? There's always been just a little bit of a gap where he's kind of gapping everybody. So the fact that I just had so much fun, reeling him in and figuring it out and kind of just, I don't know, having something for him, right?
Sure.
And then what really pissed me off in the moment there, once we went through, I wasn't that I was stoked about the win simply because it wasn't like he waved me by after being back 10 seconds, right? And then he waved me by. So I knew that I was catching him. And so in the moment and afterwards, it took a little time until it set in. And I was more so pissed off the next day simply because I felt like he ruined the opportunity for me to put in a late motor charge, make a pass, and have an epic win. You know what I mean? And make it an epic move of the year, since nobody has really been able to do that, you know what I mean? And that was totally ruined that way. So that's actually what pisses me off. Well, with this baby gift of a win, I could care less. It didn't change anything, right? And then, of course, his big brain move, just with the interview afterwards, when you think about, listen, I'm respectful and I just look at it from the outside now because it is what it is. I'm happy. I didn't do anything wrong, and I tried my ass off all the way to the end, But then, of course, with the interview, it just sounded kind of dumb, you just look at it now, and I'm just like, oh, geez. But it's past it, right? And like I said, it bothered me a little bit more 48 hours afterwards, simply because I had a chance to do something super cool, and then it had the lamest ending ever. In my almost 15 years pro career, I have never ever had anybody let me by or wave me by ever.
No, I'm sure
it was a first.
Yeah, listen, I just think it's a case of a young kid getting caught up in a moment and not quite knowing what to say. And we've all done.
He hasn't learned how to lose yet, right? It's just he hasn't really lost yet. So he might just need to learn that every now and then there might be somebody that can have something for him and maybe beat him. And then at this point, I was probably the same way when I was that age. And when you're winning everything, your ego's big, and I don't know. It was a funky situation. Jesus, I still don't really know what to think of it, honestly.
When he waved you by, what were you thinking? Were you thinking that he just couldn't handle the pressure?
I felt like a donkey.
Oh. Yeah, because I was probably thinking, man, why is this guy waving me by? What the hell's going on?
So my first initial thought was, he's going to sit behind me, and he's going to try and make a fool of me and really charge me hard and try to pass me again, which I would not have let that happen.
Stu Chad thing.
So, that was my initial thought, and then I wasn't looking back because I was just riding my race, right? And I knew something was up because I didn't hear anybody. I didn't hear him or whatever, and then I felt like, man, I felt kind of stupid, honestly, because, I'm still riding. I don't know if he was playing. I just felt stupid. It wasn't a true win. I'm like, what the hell is going on here,
Right.
And it wasn't about him playing mind games or whatever. That didn't, because I was on his ass. It didn't push me down or anything. I was just like, what in the world? He's not even trying to freaking pass me back.
It was,
I don't know. Funky.
Yeah, I was looking down at his bike too.
Did you ever see him looking down at his bike before you passed him, or no?
I did not. I saw that he was just maybe getting a little bit off balance in areas, and just little, and with the way the track was and how ruddy it was, you make a mistake really quick, which thank God I actually didn't make any. I stuck a little bit in the sand turn right there, but that was because the way it just kind of ended up being a sand wall. But overall, I didn't really have any moments or any mistakes or anything like that. I was just a little bit slower in one part of the track and I was better in another part of the track. So that's why we were kind of going back and forth like that.
Mm-hmm.
So then I kind of just made him see like little mistakes, and it's not. I don't know if it was pressure or not. I don't really want to say that it was, but I think it allowed me overall. I figured some stuff out, and it just allowed me to really, really latch onto him. And I was ready to give her the berries to because I was comfortable. I didn't feel like we were hauling ass. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't feel out of control. I took my time in certain areas simply because it was a little sketchy there and whatnot. Like I just was trying to ride as clean as I could because the tiniest little hook with how fast we were going, the tiniest little mistake, little hook, well, that's 2/10 here and 3/10 there. And then he got a little bit too far away at one point where I was like, dang it, like I had to latch on again, and which is what I did, but I just didn't want to make some stupid mistake because it wasn't like I was right on his rear wheel where I could afford it and I'm just a little bit further back. And I was also trying to use different lines than he did, like in the sand section, which actually I thought maybe hurt me a little bit. I was going outside when he was going inside, and then other areas I was switching over. Like after the tunnel, I didn't use that inside roller the entire time. I was just trying to do everything the opposite of what he did as well. And, I don't know.
I saw something on Instagram the other day, and I tweeted out this, and I thought it was really cool, is last week some kid asked for a set of goggles, and you said, nope, you didn't say thank you.